It's ZF Music, and I gotta give Brett Garcett credit for this, because this is awesome. And, like, as the subscribers that know me, I have knowledge of drums and guitar. And with both of those, I was able to draw correlations between them. So I was just watching this simple video, and it's just, this idea is straight 16th notes. But listen to how it changes just from changing from the downbeat to the upbeat. So first he plays it on the downbeat, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a... But the next measure, he starts it on the 4 and. So it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and starts on the and, on the upbeat. And just doing that sounds like 5 against 4. Just changing to the upbeat makes it sound like 5. Like the time signature's 5, or the grouping is 5. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Just evenly 5 against the 4. But it's not 5, is what I'm saying. So it's remarkable because it sounds like 5, but it's not 5. It's not truly 5, but it gives the impression of it. So watch what I'm saying.
Here are some legato exercises, but with a twist. Played on the down, but just changing it rhythmically like that really gives it a different quality and makes it more...
So, like, it's just straight 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a... Right? So, it's these 16th notes.
1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Like, it's crazy how it does it. It creates a 5. Like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Or 10, right? So, that's insane. How does it warp the time without actually warping the time? How does it give you the feel of another time without changing? You know, so I guess the reason would be that hidden among all of the 16 notes, the fact that the regular beat doesn't change. The drum beat's just a straight 4 to the floor. That doesn't change. So it means that something is going to be different, and the something is the accent. So if the loud accent would function like the quarter notes of the 4, then the accent is switching, so where it's like 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E, and the accent is like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E. So those two together creates a 5 against 4, even though nothing changed, and it just, all it did was slide back 1/8 note or something like that. It only moved over 1 degree. So I'm just saying, like, isn't it crazy how it does that without actually changing it? So it would, straight even 16th notes slid over early a note makes it because of the accent. So I guess what it would be is, you see what I mean? Like, it's like, is it an irregular grouping, or is it an odd time signature? And it's funny because I talked to my drummer friend about this, and I always tell him, like, in the earlier years, I always used to confuse them. I always used to confuse time signature with a regular grouping. And I realized the difference is, one of them is the actual duration value of the notes you're playing, of the phrase, and the other one is the actual clock. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to sometimes confuse it, like, where everybody gets this all the time, where it's like, the people that know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. They're gonna be like, yeah, where it's just 4/4, but it sounds like another thing because of the irregular grouping. It's not because the clock is actually different. It's not because the actual time signature is different. So the time signature is not, it'll always be a thing where the time signature is not an odd number. It's just 4, but the music being played is messing with you. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. So it's cool because this guy I'm talking about, this drummer, is so unbelievable and astronomical and stratospheric, and he, like, has that good formal knowledge. Like, he knows about this. And I was talking to him about, I'm a guitarist primarily, but him as a drummer would be the only person I could ever talk about this, and I could never talk to other guitarists about it. You know what I mean? Because they're, like, following whatever bullshit, whatever gimmicky industry shit, and conforming, and I'm just trying to learn music. Right? So there's just two different energies going on. But the point is, I guess, it's really interesting to dive into this stuff. And I just remember all the chapters of every instrument. I remember all the, like, landmarks and milestones, and when I had these realizations, it's just fucking exciting. It's awesome. It's fun. It's like, it's crazy when I gained the experience, because be able to talk about stuff like that. This guy that was my friend, circumstantially, was like, I was just really lucky to meet them, because their stratospheric, unbelievable, amazing drumming and the knowledge about the music was like, it helped me as a guitar player, you know what I mean, and a songwriter and whatever. Like, it helped me as a musician and artist to know that guy, and it was just an experience that I am grateful for and I cherish, because, like, there was no guitarist that was going to tell me about this stuff. Like, I know guitarists that I used to think were amazing until I actually advanced really rapidly because of the fact that I didn't listen to anybody. So, you know what I mean? I didn't internalize their delusions or misguided idealisms about anything, and I just trusted my own instincts. I just ignored everything. And I only listened to the people that I wanted to be like, or I wanted to learn from. So it was from ignoring the guitarist's advice that I actually did anything. And then, not only that, but once again, It was just from other things. It was never from other guitarists. They were not experienced or skilled enough in drumming to tell me anything about the correlations. And a lot of the drummers didn't play guitar, so they were never going to tell me shit about the correlations. So the reality is, from knowing crazy drummers as a guitarist, I learned more from them than any guitarist. And when I gained experience in both at a relatively, decently high level, it was through that basic musical understanding of the very basics of music theory that I found interesting. I was able to make these correlations that, an economy picking sequence that would be down, down, up, 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 just mirrors rudimental drumming going right, right, left, left, left. And all the picking techniques designed for efficiency mirrors the rudimental drumming where there's like two strokes of the same hand somewhere in the pattern, because it both works out the odd numbers and it inverts the patterns, like, so you can travel the other way, and it preemptively inverts it in advance, because it would just be impossible to do it, especially at high speeds, if you just stuck to regular alternate picking or single strokes left and right. So it was at those moments I had those milestone realizations that, they're not gimmicks, they're just other tools, and they have a purpose. And it was only through experiencing both drumming and guitar that I could make that correlation, which is why, once again, I'm grateful for this experience being around them, because I just learned more about music from them that played the rudimental shit than like any other thing. So yeah, it even helps you on guitar just to look up old traditional sticking patterns and shit for the traditional marching band type stuff. It'll help your overall understanding of music. So it was really exciting to be like, this is great. It's like two different worlds, and how can I combine the knowledge from drumming to make crazy guitar parts like this? And it's really only these jazz fusion guys that do this kind of guitar. Like, the notes don't sound like they make any sense because it's just chromatic runs, because the notes are really close to each other, so you can do percussive ideas like this. It's just not really going to be that melodic or musical or anything. It's not like triads that sound logical and basic and musical. It's just weird like the notes are, but the fucking note durations and the percussive rhythm part of it, and not the sound of the notes. The percussive part of this is
There are some
like the
legato
same thing.
exercises
It's crazy.
with a twist. Played on the downbeat, then forehand, then one hand.
It's
the same
really
lick, but just
educated
changing
and
it rhythmically
theoretical
like that really
music,
gives it a different quality.
which is why it
Makes more
doesn't
interesting.
sound.
1, 2, 3, 4. Here's forehand.
Like, those notes don't really sound like musical or pleasant or anything, and they're just like weird chromatic. But like, I can see the value in it because of the percussive part of it, the rhythmic part of it, of the picking. And overall music, like, you just got a regular beat of 4, and then this displacement. It's like you can get the odd time without changing the time. You can do it without having to do it. Like, or you can get it without having to do it, etc. I was able to draw these correlations. When I saw that the picking techniques and the drumming rudiments were the same idea, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, it only just begun learning. It only really just started. You know what I'm saying? And just think of everything you'll create when you get inspired. You get pumped up like that, and you get these creative sprees from one stupid thing of like basics. You know what I mean? Like, so in other words, a creative person like me will take this, and I'll have the same rhythmic things, but I'll change the notes to being more musical, so you get the best of both worlds. It's just all about how does things inspire you. So I'll go, I could take this highly theoretical, educated, and advanced concept, but make music out of it. Don't like stay technical and theoretical and educated, or it's just going to sound like theory music. It's not really going to sound like music. So, and it's cool because I can learn in any direction. Like, once you get to this point, you can apply it to the piano too. And it's funny because when I'm like articulating chords in a certain way, with my left thumb and fingers, like when I'm articulating different ways of it, when you see me playing the piano, nobody taught me that. Like, I sort of just developed it through osmosis. Like, okay, my hand is here, here's the root, and here's the fifth, here's like the triad, here's the third and the octave. There's only so many ways I can climb up a chord or go down. So you sort of just pick it up, the way you sound the root and the fifths, and you would do it different than with guitar. And that's why, again, I wrote a lot of music on guitar with the piano. And that's sort of the reason why it was comical that there would be like these couple, like, everybody has these guys coming up that just are a scumbag, but like, the guys that stole my material and covered it up by saying I stole it from them. But it's funny, when I wrote it on a piano, and to this day they don't play piano, and I wrote it in like 2005 on a piano, and like, all I would have to do is ask them that, and then it's like, forget it. It's just you start to learn the feel of each instrument, and like, what is the general, like what can I do on this piano that I can't do on the guitar, and like, how is it different? You would just approach it different. I don't know, like, you would do power chords instead of articulating it, the way that you would go like root, fifth, root. You would do it that way instead of just going da together, two simultaneous notes, one hit, da. You know what I mean? You wouldn't do that. You would go like da da da. You would hit 3 different notes. Like, I don't know how to explain it. You would just do power chords or something on the guitar, or you would strike one hit. You know what I mean? It's hard to like play it like a piano, but that seems to be the best sounding guitar.